Good evening, everyone. So here's the UK and the world bird news for the week ending Sunday, the 21st of September, 2025. Right, let's jump into the UK sightings for the last week. The glossy ibis numbers are still high after their huge influx recently. Unfortunately, they don't seem to be making their way past central England and northern Wales. So if you're looking out for them up there, you're not going to see them. Sabine's gulls are still being spotted off beaches around the whole of the UK, so keep those eyes peeled. The second calendar year red-footed falcon is still showing well after several days at Elmley Nature Reserve. Check out the vlog I did, which features all the videos and photos I took. A Eurasian stone curlew has been present at Cliff Pools for around a month now. That's an astoundingly long time, but be warned, it's very distant, so you're unlikely to get any decent photos or video. A Forster's tern, normally seen in North America, has been spotted in Dorset. They are known to occasionally overwinter in Ireland and Great Britain. A lesser yellowlegs, a North American wader, has been shown well in Cambridgeshire. Another couple of North American birds, a long-billed dowitcher, right up in Orkney, so it's a fair old trek anyone want to head that way. They also had a Franklin's gull up there, which we had down in Crossness last year for its second ever London sighting. And a bird that's more associated with Central America and the Caribbean, a laughing gull, has been spotted in County Kerry. An Isabelline wheatear on the Isle of Lewis. You'd expect to see these in places like North Africa, the Middle East and India. In Cornwall, a black kite. These can easily be mistaken for bland-looking red kites. You definitely need good lighting to get a correct ID. Great news for the Eurasian bittern, the comeback story. So here's the background. The Eurasian bittern is a secretive heron, more often heard than seen, was once a familiar sound in British wetlands. But by the late 20th century, the species was on the edge of extinction here. Only 11 booming males were recorded in 1997. The recovery. Thanks to decades of wetland restoration, especially reedbed creation in East Anglia, the Somerset Levels and Lancashire, the bittern has staged a dramatic comeback. In the latest survey, 2024, booming males increased by 20% year on year, the highest number ever recorded since monitoring began. Why does this matter? Well, bitterns are what ecologists call an umbrella species. If wetlands are good enough for them, they're good for countless others. Dragonflies, amphibians, water voles, and other wetland birds like marsh harriers and bearded tits. Their return is a rare bit of good news in UK bird conservation, showing that what can happen when habitats are restored and protected. A booted eagle in Cornwall, a mega rarity. Right, the booted eagle is a small eagle, widespread in southern Europe and Asia, but very rare in the UK. Sightings here are so scarce that many UK birders will have never seen one in their lifetimes. In September 2025, birders in Cornwall were treated to one, drawing crowds of twitchers. For those of you who don't know the term, birders who chase rarities. The bird was seen soaring over an open countryside, causing huge excitement across the birding community. Why is this special? It's the kind of bird usually associated with Spain or Greece, not southwest England. Booted eagles are graceful with two colour forms, pale, cream body, dark wing edges, and dark, overall chocolate brown. Even at a distance, their long, broad wings and eagle silhouette make them impressive. Such records highlight how climate change and shifting migration patterns may be bringing more southern species northwards. The hen harrier revival project status, unfortunately, it's been scrapped. Here's why it matters. Hen harrier is one of the rarest birds of prey, long persecuted on grouse moors. To help them recover, Natural England and DEFRA tried two big projects, a reintroduction scheme in southern England and a brood management trial where chicks were reared in captivity, then released. But in 2025, both schemes were pulled. Officially, DEFRA blamed cost-cutting after budget cuts, and breeding success had been poor, with no chicks raised in recent seasons. Natural England also raised red flags. The brood management partners wanted to scale back satellite tagging, which is crucial for tracking survival and exposing illegal persecution. Critics say this is a backward step. Numbers have risen from just 4 breeding pairs in 2016 to about 50 today, but that is still fragile. Conservationists argue the real problem, illegal killing on grouse moors, hasn't been tackled head on. So the future of the hen harrier in England is once uncertain again. Progress made, but momentum lost. Okay, some news from around the world. Painted storks return to Chennai. In Chennai's Adyar Eco Park, a wetland once choked with invasive plants and pollution, conservationists restored the habitat by removing invasive species, planting native vegetation and reviving water flow. As a result, painted storks, large, striking waterbirds with pink and white plumage, have started breeding successfully there. This is unusual since storks typically breed in remote, undisturbed wetlands, not in urban areas. Over to Texas for a double-striped thickney. Significance: this is the first Texas record since 1961, meaning over 60 years without a confirmed sighting. Its normal range is Central South America, so finding one so far north is extremely unusual. Likely explanation could be a vagrant individually pushed northward by weather patterns, migration misorientation, or human-linked dispersal, though the latter is less likely. Native range Central South America, from Mexico down to Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Colombia, Venezuela, and parts of South America. Habitat: open country, grasslands, pastures, savannas, dry scrub, often active at night, where they hunt insects and small vertebrates. Appearance: long-legged, cryptically patterned, somewhat like a cross between a plover and a curlew. Distinctive large yellow eyes, great for nocturnal foraging. Call: loud, wailing cries, sometimes compared to a curlew's, or even eerie human-like sounds at night. Why it's big news for birders. Mega rarity. North America has extremely few records of this species, making it a once-in-a-lifetime bird for US listers. Accessibility. Many vagrants are one-day wonders, but if the bird lingers, birdwatchers from across the US will travel for the chance to see it. An ecological curiosity. Its presence so far out of its range sparks questions about migration, climate shifts, and whether more tropical neotropical species could appear further north in future. Over to Hong Kong for the yellow-crested cockatoos. These birds are critically endangered elsewhere. The global population of mature individuals is somewhere between 1,200 and 2,000. Though native to parts of Indonesia and East Timor, about 10% of the wild population is found in Hong Kong. These birds in Hong Kong are not native, but are believed to descend from escaped or released pet birds. Key threats: loss of nesting sites. The birds rely on tree cavities, old trees with natural hollows, to nest. Around 80% of these cavities have been lost in recent years due to typhoons and aggressive pruning. Fewer juveniles have been observed recently compared to 10 years ago. That suggests a reproductive bottleneck or limitations in successful breeding. The illegal pet trade and black market. They are or may be trafficked despite bans. For example, wild-caught yellow-crested cockatoos are illegal under CITES, but enforcement is imperfect. Prices in the market are high. 14,000 Hong Kong dollars or 1,800 American dollars for a young chick as reported, which incentivizes capture or illegal breeding. Habitat and environmental challenges. Typhoon damage. Many old trees that held nesting cavities have been destroyed. Government pruning, trimming to reduce trees from tree failure, but prune in ways that eliminate cavities. Urban pressures, pollution, noise, limited green space may also have secondary effects on survival and breeding, implicit in many urban wildlife challenges. Conservation actions underway. Installing artificial nest boxes designed to mimic natural hollows. These are being placed in old trees or where trees have some structure. Around the city, so far, one pair has already used a box at the University of Hong Kong. The plan is to deploy 50 boxes across the city. Developing forensic and DNA tests to distinguish wild individuals from captive ones, helping enforce bans on illegal trade. Monitoring of breeding reproduction, observing which nest boxes are used, how many chicks are fledged, etc. This helps assess whether interventions succeed. Why Hong Kong is significant. Even though the population there is non-native, it forms one of the largest cohesive wild populations globally. If this urban population fails, that would be a large proportion of the remaining wild stock. Genetic value. There's possibility that birds in Hong Kong have retained genetic lineages that might be lost in native populations, so Hong Kong's birds might serve as a backup reservoir. The story is also a strong example of urban wildlife conservation, showing humans and endangered species coexisting with effort. Nest boxes in city parks, etc. Okay folks, I think that covers everything for the UK and abroad. Speak to you next week.